Alles is gereed op de lanceerbasis. Vloeibare zuurstof wordt ingebracht. De laatste fase voor de Mercury Redstone-raket zal kunnen starten van Cape Canaveral in Florida op 21 juli 1961. Men kent de gang van zaken. Men heeft al veel ervaring opgedaan voor deze ruimtevluchten. Maar deze raket zal de tweede Amerikaanse astronaut in de ruimte voeren. Virgil Ivan Grissom, 35 jaar oud, gehuwd en vader van 2 zonen, is de uitverkorene voor deze ruimtevaart, die deel uitmaakt van de onderzoekingen van de ruimte. Een stap op de weg van de mensheid naar de sterren. De vroegere straaljager-piloot, die al jaren onderworpen is aan een uiterst harde en gespecialiseerde training, samen met 6 andere specialisten, waaronder Amerika's eerste ruimtevaarder Alan Shepard, moet zijn avontuur beginnen in een lift die hem 25 meter omhoog zal brengen naar de ruimtecapsule bovenop de raket. Grissom wordt geholpen om zijn positie in te nemen op zijn speciale lichtplaats in de capsule die de naam Liberty Bell 7 draagt. Hij is gekleed in zijn ruimtepak, 9 kilo zwaar, waterdicht en geïsoleerd tegen warmte en kou. Liggend in zijn op maat gemaakte stoel zal hij door een venster uitzicht kunnen hebben op de panorama's die deze reis zal bieden. Hoewel hij 3 uren zal moeten doorbrengen in de verzegelde cabine, zal hij in doorlopende radioverbinding staan met het controlecentrum van waaruit zijn opstijging geleid wordt. De dag breekt aan boven Cape Canaveral. De seconden worden afgeteld. Om 8:20 plaatselijke tijd verheft zich de raket en voert zijn eenzame reiziger naar de hemel. Radioreporters, journalisten, fotografen en cameralieden volgen de gebeurtenissen en geven er hun verslag van. De lancering verloopt perfect. De raket stijgt majesteitelijk naar zijn hoogste punt, 190 kilometer boven de aarde, en bereikt zijn grootste snelheid van 8400 kilometer per uur. De hele wereld volgt het avontuur dankzij de verslaggevers. Tijdens zijn reis is Grissom voor korte tijd onderhevig aan een druk die 11 keer zijn eigen lichaamsgewicht bedraagt en gedurende 5 minuten verkeert hij in een toestand van gewichtloosheid. Men kondigt aan dat Grissom gereed is om de capsule los te maken van de raket. Nu neemt hij zelf de controle over en is hij in staat, precies als Alan Shepard voor hem, zijn ruimtevaartuig persoonlijk te besturen, bij de maatregelen van de ruimtevaart. ...500 kilometer verwijderd van de lanceerbasis ligt het vliegdekschip Randolph klaar in afwachting van het neerkomen van de ruimtecabine in de Atlantische Oceaan. Helikopters verlaten het schip op weg naar de verwachte landingsplaats. En daar, recht voor hen, ontdekken zij de capsule onmiddellijk nadat deze op het water is neergekomen. Hoewel de landing normaal verloopt, wordt een van de vensters ingedrukt en begint het water naar binnen te stromen. Grissom volgt nauwgezet de voorgeschreven veiligheidsmaatregelen op en verlaat de cabine. Dan volgen er enkele onbehagelijke minuten voordat Grissom wordt gered. De helikopter staat recht boven de ruimtevaarder en laat een lijn neer. Langzaam wordt hij uit het water opgehesen en in veiligheid gebracht. Ofschoon de cabine verloren ging, werd gemeld dat de meeste gegevens reeds tijdens de reis werden opgevangen. Men brengt Grissom aan boord van de Randall. Bij het verlaten van de helikopter zijn zijn eerste woorden: geef me iets om mijn neus in te snuiten, mijn hoofd zit vol zeewater. Maar voor de rest verkeert de ruimtevaarder in uitstekende conditie na een reis die weer meer ontsluiert van de geheimen van de ruimte.
Hello everybody, I'm Skip Elsheimer. Welcome to the AV Geeks Lunchtime Streaming Show, where today I'm actually back at the archive space, but nothing's totally hooked up. The scanner, the Sintel, Blackmagic Sintel scanner is behind me. We have it covered because it gets very dusty here with all the construction, but I'm here because I have to move some stuff around because some stuff is showing up tomorrow. And anyways, yeah. So that last film was by the USIS, United States Information Service, which was our propaganda branch. Also, I think it became the USIA. Yeah, it was talking about the space program in Dutch. So I'm sure that it was shown not only in the Netherlands, but also in colonies that spoke Dutch. So, and always this was it was propaganda, but it's also an advertisement on how great the United States was at the time. And so I wax nostalgic when I watch stuff like this and think like, yeah. That's what I get excited about. So that's what gets me by. Here is another. So this film, I think that this might be 1992 when this came out. But this is definitely a late year Cornet film. And a lot of the late year Cornet films rely on animation as opposed to live action. And I don't know. They have these repeating characters that keep showing back. So Wonder Cat is one of them, and this is not Wonder Cat. There's that reptile, that gecko or crocodile, or I don't know what that is, who talks about physics. This is some dude. Enjoy. Understanding weather, precipitation.
Wesley, calling Wesley. The Weather Bureau of Investigation is calling Wesley. Are you there, Wesley?
This is Wesley, sir.
Are you ready for another day of training?
Yes, sir.
You're doing well, Wesley. Soon you'll be a real agent like all of us at the WBI, not just an agent in training.
What is my assignment today, sir?
Precipitation. Wesley? Come in, please, Wesley.
Yes, sir?
Well, Wesley, I'm glad to see that you have precipitation on your mind.
Thank you, sir. I'm thinking very hard about the rain that's falling. Out of the clouds.
But rain is not the only form of precipitation, you remember. If you'd look at the viewing screen on your weather watch...
Oh, you didn't have to remind me, sir. I know that snow and sleet are forms of precipitation. And so is hail.
But what about the precipitation that's falling on you now?
The rain? Well, it's stopping.
But do you know where it came from?
Clouds.
But do you know how it got into the clouds?
No, sir. But I'll see if I can figure that out the next time there's any precipitation. I'll watch for it day and night. This is Wesley calling the WBI.
Our office is closed. Please leave a message.
The sun is setting, sir. I'm going to spend the whole night outdoors. Just reporting that the moon is rising, sir. Nothing else to report. Good morning, sir. The sun is rising. Just reporting that there's nothing to report. Oh, wait, there is something. Dew. I see it on a plant. And I see some on a bicycle seat. And there's dew on the windshield of a car. Dew seems to be all over.
Yes, it's often on surfaces early in the morning.
Oh, you're there, sir.
And where will it go?
Well, could you give me a hint just to get me started, sir?
Keep your eye on some surface where there's dew, Wesley.
There does seem to be something happening to the dew. Oh, I think I know what's happening. It's evaporating. Is that right, sir?
That's right, Wesley. The water is changing from a
Liquid.
into a water vapor, which is...
An invisible gas?
Yes, Wesley. Water vapor is part of the air. It's there, but you can't see it.
Well, if dew goes into the air when it changes from liquid water into water vapor, then maybe dew comes out of the air when water vapor in the air changes to liquid water. But I still need to know why it comes out of the air, don't I?
Yes, you do. Try to find out how the temperature of the air changed between last night and this morning.
Sir, this is Wesley calling in. I'm in a Weather Bureau reporting station. They keep track of the temperature 24 hours a day here.
Yes, I know.
And a very helpful person here drew a chart of the change in temperature for me. It started getting cooler a few hours before sunset, and it kept getting cooler all night. So things out in the air were getting cooler too. Sometime during the night, the dew must have formed on these things. Then, after the temperature started going up, the dew must have started disappearing.
Yes. You see, water comes out of the air and forms on the surfaces when the air temperature goes down and cools them.
And water goes back into the air when the temperature of the air and things in it goes up.
Very good, Wesley. You've discovered something that's very important in understanding precipitation. Now, go over to the lake. We've arranged for a boat and a guide to take you out on the water. Now, we were talking about water vapor. It's going into the air all the time from water that's all over the world, from lakes and rivers, but mainly from the oceans. You can't see that happen, but you can see what happens when... Look at your weather watch. When wet clothes dry on a line, and wet cars get dry after they've been washed. These are examples of water going into the air. But when the air temperature drops enough and surfaces get cold enough, water comes out of the air faster than it goes in. That's why dew forms.
I know dew isn't precipitation, but it doesn't look like there's going to be any precipitation soon because I don't see any or many clouds. But I can wait if my guide has the time.
Wesley?
Yes, sir?
See any clouds yet?
Actually, I can't see much at all, sir. There's a fog out here.
Now, Wesley, you do remember, don't you, that a fog...
Is a cloud? Yes, I knew that.
But now you have to think about what both fogs and clouds are.
What's that?
Well, is the guide wearing glasses?
Yes, sir.
Look at them closely and tell me what you see.
I see water on them. Tiny drops. The glasses are wet. But the lake is calm, so it isn't spray. The water must have come from the fog. But it isn't raining in the fog, so the water must be the fog. It looks like fog, or a cloud, must be made of drops of water.
Very tiny drops, that's right. And they weigh so little that they can float in the air. We call them droplets.
But where do the droplets come from?
From the same place that dew comes from.
From water vapor in the air?
That's right.
But the air in the fog doesn't feel cooler than the air out of the fog was.
Well, all clouds don't form because of cooling air. Sometimes they form when air at one temperature mixes with air that's at a different temperature, and which has a different amount of water vapor in it. Fog on a lake is just one example of that sort of cloud making. Look at your weather watch, please. Breathing out on a cold day forms clouds in that way. Clouds from a hot bowl of soup or a boiling tea kettle form in the same way. They're all called mixing clouds. Fogs, like other mixing clouds, don't usually result in precipitation. Later in the morning, Wesley, as the sun warms the air, the fog will slowly disappear. You see?
But if the air is warmer, why are there clouds up there now?
A good question, Wesley. I'd like you to go to the airport now. I'll call in a weather plane and we'll fly you up to where the clouds are, and maybe you can find out for yourself why clouds are up there. Bring a warm jacket with you.
Hi, Wesley. Climb in.
Wesley, calling Wesley.
Yes, sir. I'm in the weather plane, sir.
Anything to report yet?
Well, we're heading for some clouds. We'll have to climb a bit. The plane's engine is really working hard. Hey, there's a glider. It's climbing pretty fast, and it doesn't even have an engine.
And can you explain that?
Well, I guess it's being pushed upward by something.
Something like?
Well, the only thing I could imagine pushing up on the glider is air.
And that's just exactly what's happening, Wesley. You see, the sun heats the ground and the ground heats the air over it. But some parts of the ground get warmer than others. So the air over those parts rises faster than the air around it that isn't as warm. Air that's warm is always rising through cooler air.
Thank you for suggesting that I take along a jacket, sir. It's getting cooler as we go higher. I'll turn on the cabin heater, Wesley.
It's getting cooler, Wesley, because as air warmed by the ground rises, it expands. Expanding makes it get cooler. And if it gets cool enough, what's going to happen, Wesley?
Well, there'll be tiny drops of water if there are surfaces up here for the droplets to come out on.
And there are, such as salt particles and dust.
Then the droplets should form and stay together and make clouds. So clouds are forming up here because the air is cooling off.
That's right. Cooling air is the usual reason why clouds form.
Wow! Look at those clouds. It looks like they're still growing.
Well, if there's enough water vapor in the rising and cooling air, clouds get bigger and bigger. Look at your weather watch. Clouds grow as more and more droplets of water come out of the air. But the clouds might not be made of drops of water. If the air temperature is low enough...
Like below freezing?
Right. Then, when water vapor comes out of the air, it can form tiny ice crystals. Now, these clouds of water droplets or ice crystals can float in the air because they weigh so little.
I suppose as more and more of the cloud droplets form, they could bump together and get bigger and heavier, too.
Right. And what happens when they get too heavy to float?
Precipitation.
Good. And how would you explain snow?
Ice crystals grow too heavy to float and fall out of the clouds.
Very good, Wesley.
But it's pretty warm today. If any snowflakes fell out of those clouds, they'd melt. We'd have rain.
That's quite right, Wesley, but remember, all rain isn't melted snow. And it sounds like we're about to have some rain. Better tell the pilot to land. It's umbrella up time, Wesley.
Umbrella already up, sir.
What do you know about precipitation now, Wesley?
Well, it comes from clouds. And clouds come from water vapor in the air. When the water droplets or ice crystals that form the clouds get too heavy, we have precipitation.
Very good, Wesley.
But that's not all I know, sir, to come in out of the rain.
So I don't know if you noticed that logo at the end with the coronet MTI. That's a Simon Schuster logo, because there was a period of time that Simon Schuster owned Coronet. So there was this weird, in the 80s and 90s, there was this weird thing where Coronet was owned Centron for a little while, but then sold some of it back to somebody, and then Simon Schuster owned some, and then it got acquired by Phoenix Films. It's a mess. So what year did we figure out that this was? Was it 91 or 92? Some of these are 92, but it's clear that this is made by the same people who made Wonder Cat. It's got that same vibe to it. Too many questions. Entirely too many questions. Let's go ahead and learn about the evolution of man. Enjoy.
Millions of years ago, man-like creatures lived on this East African plain. In that time, the land wasn't as barren as it is today. For this was the edge of a great lake then, and many trees and other plants colored the land green. But time changed all that, and a few remains of those creatures that lived here long ago eventually were buried beneath this plain. Today, scientists come to this very place to find out about man's past. For subsequently, a river came and cut a mile-wide gorge down into the plain, the Olduvai Gorge, uncovering the stone tools and fossilized bones that tell of man's life here. Finding any of this evidence of man's inch search over the surface of the land, and then beneath it. And the deeper into the gorge the scientists dig, the older are the fossils that are discovered. Of course, the odds against sifting any fossils from the tons of rock are fantastic. To the untrained eye, bits of fossil bone look exactly like bits of rock. Yet fossils are found, broken bits and pieces of what? Patient reconstruction of some of these fragments reveals the skull of an ancient man, a man like ourselves, and yet different. To understand how modern man could have evolved from earlier man, it's necessary to have some idea of how all living things may have evolved and changed. Charles Darwin, in 2 books, The Origin of Species and The Descent of Man, proposed his theory of natural selection to explain how the world had become filled with so many different kinds of living things. With animals that live in the water, amphibians that come from the water on the land, with reptiles and birds and mammals. By Darwin's time, fossil skeletons of saber-toothed cats had been found that were related to the modern cat family. And fossil skeletons of woolly mammoths had been found that were related to modern elephants. But it wasn't until after Darwin, on the tropical Asian island of Java, that a young Dutch doctor, Eugene Dubois, found and identified man-like fossils, a thigh bone and the top of an ancient skull. Since then, fossil records of about 1,000 prehistoric individuals have been uncovered. Only 1,000. Not very many to reconstruct the story of man's evolution. And of these 1,000 individuals, only a few are complete skeletons. Some are represented by just a single tooth, the most durable part of a human skeleton. Some are of the brain case. Some by a jawbone. Some by the complete skull. To place these fossils of early man into any probable order of evolution is extremely difficult, because there are so very few of them and the time gaps between them are so large. For example, this skull belonged to a Cro-Magnon man who lived in France perhaps 25,000 years ago. Cro-Magnon man is not very different from modern man. This skull belonged to someone who lived perhaps 65,000 years ago, between Cro-Magnon and Neanderthal man. Neanderthal man flourished in Europe 100,000 years ago, and then, about 35,000 years ago, disappeared. One of the earlier of the true humans is Homo erectus. This woman lived perhaps 400,000 years ago near Peking. Precise measurements of these few fossil skulls are taken so that one can be compared to another, and perhaps some order of difference is discovered. And some differences do seem clear. The frontal ridge above the eyes is thicker the farther back in time we go. When we trace the skull profile of relatively modern Cro-Magnon man, then compare it to the older skulls, we can see some of the other changes. The farther back in time we go, the smaller the chin, and more importantly, the smaller the brain case, especially the part that holds the forebrain, that section most concerned with thinking. Because early human fossils are so rare, scientists study each one carefully. Even the impressions of arteries and veins inside the brain case might offer some clues about the brain's activity. Fossil jaws and teeth may suggest something about their owner's age and diet. These belong to an adult female. These are the milk teeth of a child about 6 years old. It was with the discovery of this particular skull in South Africa that the story of man's ancestry reached back to the very man and pre-man. This is Australopithecus, who lived 2 million years ago. This is one version of what he might have looked like. This another. No one can be sure which, if either, is right. And which was he, man or near man? Where is the line crossed? To answer that means we would have to agree on what man is and what we mean by the word human. And there is no such agreement. As we move still further back in time, we come to a creature called proconsul that lived 25 million years ago. Then much further back, 70 million years back, to the time when primates first appeared in the mammal line, creatures that might have looked like this present-day tree shrew. Now, in tracing our ancestry, it's essential to understand that these tree shrews are as modern as man, and no animal living today is actually an ancestral type. But some of these modern mammals do suggest what some of the ancestral primates probably looked like. Suppose the first primates were small, shrew-like animals like this that lived in trees. What sort of evolutionary pressures could have caused some of the descendants to remain like their ancestors, while other descendants became quite different? One guess is that keen vision and excellent muscular control were useful for quick movements high in the trees. Since complex movements are related to a larger brain, life in the trees might have favored those animals with larger brains. And what about the evolution of hands? Again, it may have been that more flexible paws that could grasp a branch or other object, were an advantage in the trees. And again, these more complex movements would be related to a larger brain. But whatever the evolutionary pressures were, a long series of genetic changes and natural selection did result in fingers that could be drawn together on some of these early primates. Able to lift food to the mouth, the animal could keep its head erect and see approaching enemies at the same time. Generations passed, and still more changes occurred. There were animals with eyes closer to the front of the face, and full three-dimensional vision became possible when primates like the marmoset developed, with eyes in front of the head. The changes that occurred were subjected to the ultimate tests of natural selection. Were they an advantage to the animal's survival? And did the animal produce offspring with these new genetic combinations? Other changes appeared. There were primates with fingers of more and more complex motions. But though the capabilities were there, the animals were still using these forepaws mostly for locomotion. With some of the tree dwellers, the hands and arms provided the principal means of movement. Even when some primates had ventured from the trees to the ground, the arms were still just another set of legs. But with this all-important difference, even though the hands were used to support the animal, they were capable of other things as well. In time, some of the primates were using the forepaws less and less for support and locomotion. And here was another step in the evolution of man. As the hands were partially freed from their supportive job, they were able to try other things, like holding a stick. The step from this to tool making may have taken hundreds or thousands of generations, and no one knows precisely where to say the line between near man and man was actually crossed. Perhaps it was after they had learned to make tools and had begun using fire. Or did it happen after the development of speech? And where did it happen? Did true man first appear in South Africa? And then did he multiply and spread to North Africa, and then east to Asia? Or during the long process of evolution, did man emerge in South Africa and Asia at the same time? or somewhere in between? And after true men did appear, how and when did groups of them become so separated from one another that any new changes that took place couldn't be shared between the different groups? And was it in this isolation that the different races of humans emerged? No one is sure just when the different colored skins or the special folds around the eyes appeared. But the separation was apparently never long enough or complete enough for different species of men to evolve. Today, genetic changes are still taking place. But in which directions are they changing man? Perhaps the men of the future minds and bodies can best withstand the stresses of an increasingly crowded world. And perhaps as man continues learning how to control his environment, he will also learn how to control his own evolutionary destiny.
As a fan of Devo, there's some interesting things that Devo says, and they basically copped their ideas from this weird book about de-evolution, or at least that concept that we peaked at some point, and then we're like, but it's not. I think the person who wrote that book wasn't really a scientist. They were a scientist, but it's, has not been proven. But there you go. All right, what do we got? What do we have here? Okay, so many things to watch. I think we're going to watch this. So I did a show with the Found Footage Festival. They have a Saturday morning component where they watch not so great cartoons and comment on them. And they had me as a guest, and I showed Puppy Saves the Circus, which was a Ruby Spears production. And it, I'm not a fan, but it's definitely resonated with them because they're younger than me, and so maybe this will resonate with you. So this was early on, before it was part of a series, part of the Scooby and Scrappy Doo Puppy Superpower Hour or whatever. This was these were short individual things about this puppy who found a boy, and it turns out I actually have that episode, which came out in the 70s, and I think this one came out in the 80s. But this is some animation and lots of cartoon voices that you'll recognize. So enjoy Puppy's Great Adventure.
This is it, Petey. It's today. Yeah, Tommy, your lucky day.
Gee, getting adopted.
They'll be here right after breakfast. Come on, Petey. We gotta pack.
Tommy's folks will be my folks, too. I can hardly wait.
We're gonna be so happy. Shouldn't the Williamses be here by now, Miss Miller?
Well, it's quite a drive from Loveton where they live, Tommy. Now, don't worry, they'll be here.
Did I pack everything? My bow, my frog, my collar and leash? Hey, I forgot my bone. I can't go without my favorite bone. It isn't here. It's gotta be someplace. Hey, that's where it is, the closet. My bone. Oops, a bat. Guess I struck out on that one. Where's that bone?
They're here. They're here.
Hi, son.
Hi, Tommy. Are you ready to go?
I sure am, Mrs. Williams.
Please, now you can call me Mom.
You bet, Mom.
Tommy, the sooner we go, the sooner we're home. Why don't you take your new mom out to the car?
Oh, boy, a car. Bye. Bye, Mommy. Bye.
I promise you, Miss Miller, we'll do all we can to make Tommy happy.
With parents and a puppy, too, what boy wouldn't be?
Puppy? Tommy has a puppy?
Oh, yes, Petey. He was here a second ago.
Well, I'm afraid he'll have to stay here. Dogs are a nuisance, especially puppies. I got bitten by a dog once.
But Tommy doesn't...
Now, don't worry about Tommy. He's going to have so much fun with us, he'll never miss the pup. Goodbye, and thank you.
Boy, I never thought I'd find it. Hey, where's Tommy? They're going without me. Wait!
Stop! We forgot Petey.
No, we didn't, son. He's staying behind.
Now, it won't be so bad staying here. All of us love you. It's just that Mr. Williams doesn't like dogs. Some people don't. It can't be helped. Come on, eat, Petey. There's nothing you can do about it. Oh, dear.
No, there is too something I can do. I can go to Lovetown and change Mr. Williams' mind. Once I get there, he'll beg me to stay, because Tommy needs me. Lovetown, 40 miles? I'll never make it. There's gotta be an easier way to get there.
Well, look what we got here.
An amateur. He ain't old enough to be a dropout, so he must be a drop-in. Get it?
I got it. Hello there. I suppose the brakeman saw you.
But, Brakeman?
A big guy with a club. He don't like anybody bumming a ride.
I didn't notice.
Kid, what are you doing here anyway? Running away from home?
Yes. I mean, no. I mean, I'm running to home. Honest. I'm going to Lovetown to find my boy Tommy. This train goes there, doesn't it?
It goes there, but it don't stop.
It goes right on through. Switch.
Oh, great. How am I going to get off?
What? Huh? The brakeman. He's banging on the roof.
Aha! There you are. You want to learn how to get off? Watch us, kid. So long.
It's going too fast. I can't.
Trying to grab a free ride, will you, Mutt? I'll show you.
Wow, that was close. Lovetown. Now all I gotta do is get directions. I must have asked 50 times. Boy, you'd think somebody would know where the Williamses live.
I'll be glad to tell you.
You mean you know?
Oh, Firehouse Dog knows where everybody lives, Sonny. Turn left at the corner. 10 blocks, you go past the junkyard. Then the neighborhood gets classy. The Williams live down at the corner there in that white...
Here it is. No use. I'll try around the side. Guess I'll have to dig under. Ah, help! Imagine, sound asleep, and I wake up buried. I didn't mean to. Honest. I was trying to get into the Williams yard. You'll never do it that way. But I got to. I came after my boy, Tommy. The Williamses adopted him. Only Mr. Williams doesn't like dogs because he got bit by one once. And, well... Oh, I see. They left you behind. It's a shame. He shouldn't be against all dogs just because he had trouble with one. That's your name? Dolly? That's a nice name. Mine's Petey. I don't suppose you could tell me what to do about that fence. Well, there's another way in, but it won't do you any good. They're all away. They won't be back until tomorrow. Aw, rats! Besides, the way you look. Huh? Oh, boy, I'm a mess. I better go back to the junkyard and clean up. Junkyard? Back a few blocks. It's got neat stuff. A bathtub full of water and everything. Can I come along? Hey, Wild, come on. What does Mr. Williams do, Dolly? He's a jeweler. Sells rings and watches and precious jewels. I overheard my master say he went to get a diamond from one of his customers. Tomorrow there'll be reporters there and photographers to take pictures. Why would they do that? Because it's a diamond. A famous diamond. Oh, what's a diamond? You mean you don't know? Uh-uh. Well, it's a stone, only not a stone. Oh. I mean, it's like glass, only you can't see through it. Oh. Anyway, it glitters and shines, and it's worth a lot of money. Oh, like a bone. A diamond is worth 1,000,000 bones. Oh. Oh. Petey, you're tired. Yeah, been a hard day. Oh, there's a place where I can sleep tonight. It's been nice being with you all afternoon, Petey. Wish I could stay, but my people would worry. See you tomorrow, okay? Okay. Night. Night, Petey. Dolly? Yes? You're okay. You know that? You too, Petey.
Well, Fingers, can you do it or can't you?
You sure this safe is the same kind Williams keeps the diamond in?
It's the same.
Okay then, Doyle. Abracadabra!
Hey, great, Fingers. You're gonna do the same kind of job on William's safe. That diamond's as good as ours.
Oh, gosh! They're gonna rob Tommy's dad. I better find a way to stop him quick. And who knows? Maybe if I do, he'll let me bid her and let me live with Tommy. two crooks are gonna steal the diamond. You gotta show me the way in so I can warn Mr. Williams. But what if he doesn't understand? Then I'll try something else. I'll hide it. They can't steal it if they can't find it. Now how do I get in?
Right here, Petey. It's an old drain pipe. It comes up in the middle of the lawn.
Look, there's the diamond. And Tommy, my boy Tommy.
Oh, Petey, when Mr. Williams figures out you're saving his diamond, you'll be a hero.
Never mind that hero stuff. What I want is to be part of Tommy's family. Here it goes.
Oh, that's lovely. Hold it now.
Petey!
Hey, after it! He's got the diamond! There he is! Get him! Grab him! Grab him! Get him quick! He's getting away!
I gotta bury the diamond.
Petey, I don't know what you're up to, but am I glad to see you. I've sure missed you.
Watch out, son. He's wild.
Dad, it's okay. He's my pup, Petey.
Oh, he is he? Well, then I was right all along. He is dangerous. Out he goes, right now.
All I did was make it worse. Mr. Williams will never let me live with Tommy now.
Just because you didn't succeed once, you shouldn't stop trying.
You're right. I'm not leaving. What are you gonna do? I'm going back to the junkyard and try to stop those crooks. It's my last chance.
Good. I'm coming with you.
They're gone. They're not going after the diamond until tonight. Where are they now?
Look, the window to Doyle's office is open. Maybe we can find his home address in there.
Good idea. Come on.
We'll never find out where Doyle lives in this mess.
Oh, did something scare you?
Oh, it's only a mouse.
Careful with that only stuff. You want my help? Be polite.
How can you help us?
I happen to know where Doyle keeps his address book. Only I can't open the drawer by myself. It sticks.
You want his address book?
Don't be dumb. It's the same drawer where he keeps the cheese for his mouse traps. That's what I want. We got a deal?
Okay, which drawer is it?
This one. Heave! I got mine. So long!
He didn't even say thank you.
Petey, here it is!
J. Doyle, room 2A, Grand Hotel, State Street. Let's go.
This is it.
Hey, the satchel. It's got the tools. They won't be able to open Mr. Williams' safe without the tools.
We can't get it with them right there.
Maybe we can get him to come out. That janitor's closet gives me an idea. That cart should do it.
What's that?
Dolly, give me a hand.
Well, what do you know? A couple of pups. I never saw that one before, but this one made the front page. Pup almost gets diamond.
Hey, I wonder who trained him. Must be somebody else after it.
They won't have a chance. We're getting it now. As for these two, In you go.
What are we gonna do? We're locked in. Hey, look, a nail. This is our way out. Quick, take the nail and get on my back. We're gonna make it, Dolly. With a nail? Yeah, I saw it on a TV show. A detective used a nail to work the key loose. You mean like this? Yeah, wiggle it. I'm wiggling. There it is. But we can't reach it. Yes, we can. Watch. We got it. Take it, Dolly, and get up on my back again. And don't drop it. Don't worry. Hurry. Hurry, Dolly, hurry. And cross your paws. We get there in time.
This is the house, Fingers. Let's get moving.
There's the van. And the gate's open. They're at the safe. Come on, let's go wake Mr. Williams.
Gosh, I heard you so clear. I must have been dreaming. I still hear you. Petey, it is Petey.
What's all that noise?
It's that pup again. He doesn't know when to quit.
Someone's coming. Duck.
Petey! Petey!
It's the kid. Grab him. We'll take him with us so he can't give the alarm.
Tommy!
The diamond is gone.
Look, they've got Tommy. They gotta be going to the junkyard. I'll stick with Tommy. You bring help.
By the time you get loose, kid, we'll be on our way to South America.
Petey, how'd you get here? Boy, am I glad to see you.
Come on, Fingers. Let's get out of here.
Those crooks, they're getting away.
The police won't be looking for this car.
We gotta stop them.
It's that mud again. Let go. Who's the diamond?
I got it. Get out of here.
I gotta help Petey. He can't do it all by himself.
Come on, get this crate started.
What do you think I'm grinding my teeth? Watch out! Here he comes again.
Platooey, I'm gonna get in that car. This time I'm gonna.
Oh, no!
How do we get down?
No way. We're stuck. It's all that pup's fault. It's the pup. The diamond. Grab him. Now we got him.
Petey! Petey!
There's Tommy. He's all right.
Here's your diamond, Mr. Williams. That pup tried to steal it again.
No, Petey saved it. There are the crooks up there.
No wonder that pup got us. He must be a police dog.
How is he, son?
Petey, You can't be dead.
I was all wrong about dogs, especially puppies. You've got to judge everyone for himself, the way you should with people. Petey can stay with us forever.
We love you, Petey.
You bet we do.
It's for you. Go ahead.
You looking for somebody, Petey?
Puppy love.
Yeah, and after they grow up, that's what they'll have, puppies. Right, Tommy?
Yeah, their own family. Like we're a family now. You and Mom and me and Petey, and that's the best thing in the whole wide world, isn't it? A family.
So that was not made by Coronet. It was distributed via Coronet to schools. And so Ruby Spears is who made that. Lots of cartoon voices in there. Frank Welker. Who talks like this? And he shows up in a lot of the Saturday morning cartoons that they show at with Found Footage Festival. Also, there was, what was his name? Alan Melvin, who did, I think, the Crook's voice. And he, you know him better as, he shows up, he's a character actor, shows up a lot, but mostly he's Sam the Butcher from Brady Bunch, Alice's love interest. Yeah, lots of voices here. Nancy McKeon, who was then on Facts of Life. She played the little female puppy. Wonderfully insipid. Like, this is what we were spoon-fed back in 1979. And it's based on a series of books that were written, I think, in the 50s. So, anyways, there you go. Thanks for watching today. Very much appreciate your eyeballs. And we'll be back again tomorrow, Friday. It'll be great. Where will I be? Will I be here? Will I be there? I don't know where I'll be. But we'll watch some films. It'll be fun. If you like what you saw, hit the thumbs up. That's a great way to support us. You can also donate via the Super Thanks button, which people have done in the past. But maybe I didn't deserve it today. Maybe I pushed it too far. Yeah, watch other films that we have on our YouTube channel, because we have a bunch. We have, I think, 10,100. We've been adding 12 a day, which is a little bit more sane than adding 24 a day. So it's a lot of new stuff. And thanks so much. And we will see you